Shamil Encyclopedia of Islam. Turn back. The universe. The earth, the heavens, the sun, the stars, the planets and the whole world of existence created by Allah Almighty for all creatures. According to today's scientific research, there are billions of galaxies in the universe. The Milky Way is also among these galaxies. The Sun, a hot gas mass made up of Den, is one of the billions of stars that make up the Milky Way. Its diameter is 1.393.000 kilometers. And the distance to our world is 149,600,000 kilometers. Dear. The light of the Sun reaches us in 8 minutes. The Sun, which can be compared to a huge gas furnace, converts 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium per second. In other words, thousands of hydrogen bombs explode in a second. Hydrogen atoms turn into helium. The solar system consists of 9 planets. In the group of inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mary. After that, there is a space filled by asteroids. Then too, there is a group of exoplanets consisting of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. In fact, the Sun is a small star and looks big because it is close to the Earth. There are stars millions of times larger than the Sun. There are stars so distant from our world that centuries pass for their light to come to us. The mass of the Andromeda Nebula, our Milky Way's neighbor, is equal to billions of solar masses. Its diameter is 60,000 light-years. Given that each of the billions of stars has separate planets and inventions, it can be said that there are trillions of galaxies in a galaxy. Considering that there are 1 billion nebulae in the field of view of the Hale telescope at Mooring alone, we can have more or less an idea of the size of the universe. Everything in the universe is in motion. However, since stars rotate with their galaxies and satellites with their stars, their distances to each other and their location in the system do not change much. The Sun rotates around its axis, around the Milky Way with all its planets and moons, and also in the universe with the Milky Way. There is no doubt that this vast evidence is the work of Almighty Allah. Just as I thought of a simple dress, there was a tailor who sewed it. When we see a building, if we know that there is a master who made it, we definitely know and believe that. The universe, galaxies within the universe, the Milky Way in the galaxies, our world with the stars in the Milky Way, the Sun in the stars and other planets. There is a great Lord in our world who created mountains, seas, rivers, forests, plants, animals, and people. The Quran and the universe. There are many verses in the Quran that mention the creation of the universe, the heavens, the planets and the stars, and that encourage people to think and teach around them. Let us list some of them. It is He who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, in order to reveal which of you will do the best work while the throne is on the water. Hud 11/7. Do not those who disbelieve know that we separated the heavens and the earth and that we created all living things from water? Al-Anbiya 21/30. Allah created the heavens without a pillar as we see it, and has placed fixed mountains on the earth to shake you, spread all kinds of creatures there. We have sent down water from the sky and raised therefrom every nice couple. Luqman 31:10-11. It is He who created the heavens on 7 floors. You will not find any disorder in this creation of Rahman. Turn your eyes. Look, can you see a crack? Al-Mulk 67/3. It is God who created the heavens and the earth, who grows crops as sustenance with the water that descends down from above, who gives the ships, rivers, the moon and sun that walks in certain orbits to swim in the sea, night and day at your command, Abraham. 32 to 33. It is he who creates the night and the day, the sun and the moon. Each one walks in this order. Hollandia, 21/33. It is he who created the heavens and the earth with truth, that the day he says, be, happens immediately. His word is true. Al-Lanham, 6/73. It is he who created for you all that is on the earth. Then, he arranged them as 7 heavens, turning towards the sky. He knows everything. Al-Baqarah, 2:29. It is he who makes the sun luminous and the moon luminous, who arranges the places of the moon, so that you can know the number and calculation of the years. Allah has created them only according to the truth, and explains the verses at length to the people who know. And in what he created on the earth, there are signs for those who refrain from opposing him. Yunus 10:5-6. Allah created the heavens and the earth properly. There is indeed a lesson in this for the believers. Al-Ankabut, 29:44. In the verses we have listed, it is stated that, all living things are made of water. The sky in the form of smoke is mentioned. It is understood that the throne was above water before the universe was created. Almighty Allah created vitality and vitality from this water. Scientific research shows that living things today cannot stand thirst. Because a water molecule stays in the body for 7 to 14 days, then it is removed and replaced with new water ions that will provide vitality. The health of a cell also depends on the balance of water ions around it. Thus, the verse of the Quran informs us 15 centuries ago that the basic requirement of vitality, which means the living being to fulfill its function, is that probably the universe was once in a liquid state. Allah knows how long he is left in that case. The liquid then turned into a gaseous state. Thus, the original universe became a mass of gas. Almighty God gave a new shape to the formation of the universe with an explosion. At the end of this explosion, fireballs were hurled from the sun to the environment. While our world was one of these flaming balls, millions of years passed through the cooling stage. Over time, heavy materials collapsed to the bottom, forming the Earth's core. According to the estimates of some scientists, the rising gases turned into water vapor and rained down and formed the seas. As stated in the verses, God Almighty gave the elements such as air, water and soil their present character. With its heat, rotation speed and tilt, it made its atmosphere suitable for human and other living creatures. As a matter of fact, the verse, he then arranged the place. He took his water out of it and created a pasture land, and Naziat, 79:30-31 indicates this. In addition, when the expression, he arranged the place, in this verse is examined in terms of lexicon, it is understood that it is in the form of an ellipse. Because the word, genius, which means arrangement here also means, ostrich egg, which is known as the closest shape to the ellipse. On the other hand, the verse, it is he who truly created the heavens and the earth. The night fills the day and the day fills the night. Al-Azumar, 39/5, is a clear proof of the roundness of the world. The word, entanglement, here means, winding in a sphere. You see the mountains as frozen in their place, whereas they pass like clouds. And Nemau, 27/88. The rotation of the Earth around its own axis is precisely explained in this verse. Because it is a scientific fact that the way mountains walk like clouds depends on the rotation of the Earth. In another verse, it is stated that, Allah created strong mountains on the earth so that it would not shake you. An-Nahl, 16:15. Scientific studies have shown that mountains are like the lid of a boiling cauldron. In this way, the flame stacks in the center of the earth cannot go up. Moreover, Moreover, the weight of the mountains is like a lightning rod against earthquakes. If there were no mountains, the earth would experience a continuous shake. It would not be possible to build rivers on it. In the following two verses, of which we will narrate, it is clearly stated that the solar system moves and that the planets are orbiting one by one. The movements of the Sun and the Moon are according to a calculation, R. Raman, 55/5. The Sun also walks in its orbit. This is the law of God, who is powerful and knowledgeable. We have appointed mansions for the Moon that will eventually turn into a dry date. Reaching the Moon does not fall into the Sun, it cannot pass the day at night, each of them walks in an orbit. Yasin, 36:38-40. In a verse in Surah Al-An'am, air pressure is indicated. Whoever Allah wants to set on the right path, He opens his heart to Islam, and whoever wants to lead astray, He makes his heart narrow and troublesome, as if he is ascending to the sky. Al-An'am, 6/125. As it is known, air pressure decreases by 1 degree at every 100 meters of altitude, and breathing difficulties are experienced as one climbs higher. The verse above, which you read above, expresses this scientific truth. Moreover, by using the phrase ascending to the sky in the verse, the developments in the space age are also indicated. There is no doubt that the following verses indicate the law of attraction. It is Allah who raises the heavens without a pillar, as we see, Rad, 13/2. Allah created the heavens without a pillar, as we have seen, Luqman, 31/10. He raised the sky, they set the balance, Ar-Rahman, 55/7. Do you not see that God held the sky so that it would not fall down without His command? Al-Hajj, 22/65. The purpose of raising and holding with the balance clearly stated in the above verses is the force of pushing and pulling. Thus, the protection of the sky so that it does not fall is realized by the law of attraction given by Allah. It is the law of gravity imposed by Allah that keeps people and other beings on earth. Without this law, humans and other beings would have fallen apart in the vacuum of the universe. The expression, 7 layers of heaven, in some verses is explained as follows by today's scientists. 1. First sky. The space where our Earth is located with the solar system. 2. Second sky. The space where our galaxy is located. 3. Third sky. Space of our galaxy group. 4. The fourth sky. The central radiomagnetic space of the universe in which the galaxy groups are considered collectively. 5. Fifth sky. The universe space where quasars, seed storage stars that give birth to stars, are located. 6. Sixth sky. The space of the expanding universe where the escaping stars are located. 7. Seventh heaven. The universe space representing the infinite infinities of the universe. Other than this, see Haluk Nurbaki, verses from the Quran and Scientific Facts, 3:14-15. Almighty Allah has given the universe and our world such an order, such a balance that in the event of the slightest change, all the planets will strike with each other, leaving no trace of the living world. The following verses clearly point out this balance. We certainly created everything according to a measure, Al-Qamar, 54/49. Everything is according to a measure in His sight, Rad, 13/8. Let us explain this measure indicated in the Quran with scientific facts. 1. Earth makes 1,000 miles per hour around its axis. If it were not like that, but turned enough to make 100 miles an hour, day and night would be longer than it is now. In this case, the plants would be scorched during the day, and if they remained, they would also freeze overnight. 2. Our Earth is so measuredly away from the Sun that it warms us up. If this temperature of the Sun, the conversion of hydrogen explosions to helium, were reduced by half, we would freeze from the cold. If it was as much as half, we would burn. 3. The fact that the world is tilted at 23.5 degrees creates seasons and prevents continents from turning into pieces of ice. If this inclination was 2 degrees more or 2 degrees missing, there would be no possibility to live on Earth. 4. If the Moon were 50,000 miles away from our world at its present point, the tides would be terrific on Earth and all continents would be submerged twice a day. 5. If the Earth's crust was a little thicker than it is today, the plants would not have been able to grow. If the atmospheric layer around the Earth were a little thinner, thousands of meteors that burned away from us would hit every part of our world and burn everywhere. 7. Until about 100 years ago, people met their heating and energy needs with wood. If coal and oil did not come out, there will be no trace of the forests today and our world would become uninhabitable. However, Almighty Allah helped humanity by giving enough coal and oil to all people on earth. Take a look at what is in the heavens and the earth, Yunus 10:100. And it is said that the verses, He finished the greens and then made them black and dry, Al-Layla 87:4-5, refer to coal and oil from underground wealth. 8. The elements in the earth have been arranged by God to meet the needs of humanity. For example, if even one of the compounds of silicon, potassium or iron were not given to the earth, humanity would have been in great trouble. 9. The laws of physics say that an object falling from a height gets faster and faster. According to this, rainwater pouring from kilometers above should have descended to the earth like bullets. A downpour would have destroyed whatever was on the earth, pierced our skulls and penetrated our brains. However, the raindrops descending from the skies with the unique order and law laid down by the Almighty Allah caress us, and instead of death, life brings abundance instead of disaster. 10. All these plants covering the earth prepare oxygen for us through photosynthesis. It keeps the composition of the air in the necessary balance for our survival. If the amount of carbon in the air were more, breathing would be difficult for living things. When we turn our eyes around and look carefully, we see that the measure of the moon prevails in everything from atomic nucleus to cell to human brain, seed to tree, sand particles to galaxies in the farthest corners of the universe. The first is the delicate order and balance that Almighty Allah, who created everything from nothing, placed in the universe. The Quran frequently reminds us of the divine balance in